position, they continue pointing out, and it's been demonstrated that the plan of these extremist sectors were not an electoral plan. They were not participating in elections. They were not going to cities and towns to convince with their arguments in favor of the electorate. They were to cities and towns to sow their violent seeds, to distribute drugs and money that they were about to use. At the time, they decided to take off their disguise of kindness and show themselves as they are: demons, assassins, hitmen, extreme violent people. That's their main the main characteristics of fascism. It has two main features. The first one is the differentiating one from another. And a few days ago, one of the fascist communicators, who is very brave, from Miami, but he's not there to come here because in a few seconds we could arrest him, and he called us apes. And what is he? Is he a reptile? We are all apes. He called us garbage. That's the first thing a fascist do. You are different from me, and as you are different, I can kill you and I torture you. I can burn down your house. I can spot your house and then look after you, and then persecute you. Sorry. And that's what German Nazi used to do. Exactly what they did in Poland after they invaded us. After they invaded them. And the first thing is differentiating, and the second one is violence. Is the escalation of violence. The fascism uses the extreme violence to sow fear for a society accept and receive as good any proposal they have. As in what, if we ask Germans about if we ask Germans if they are pure, we get shocked by their response, because there's an emergence of fascism, but the most likely thing would be that Germans would answer not to that, but they believe so. And that was the seed of fascism in Nazi Germany. That was the truthful seed. And so it is the imposition of extreme forms through fear. It's the imposition of fear, because there was no plan or electoral project, and they didn't present any government plan. They didn't sign the agreement that the vast majority of presidential candidates signed at the headquarters of the National Electoral Council, because they already have prepared that, because it's nothing new. They always use the same methodology, the lies, imposition, or the attempt of imposing that lies from using their owners from the US, from the North. And don't I don't buy those lies of those of their results of elections. I could print you 400 million of ads about elections, but so that's not important, because the only entity that counts up the ballots are the National Electoral Council, which is attached to the Constitution. I saw it to legislator Brito. That's sir is too old and has lost their cognitive capacities, and sometimes these kind of people are too honest, and meanwhile this head of fascism, because she ordered to kill Chavista people, they ordered to kill and torture sons of the homeland. She ordered to destroy kindergartens. She ordered to destroy units of public transport. They didn't damage their own transportation. They directed a plan towards the popular sectors to sow fear and for the people not to come out to the streets and defend the electoral result. But it is absolutely public and remarkable that so far they have said 7 or 8 different numbers of acts they have, because even if they don't believe it, or you can be very dumb and study in a US university and you just graduate equally dumb. You can be a jerk and buy a master's degree in the Harvard University, and you continue to be as stupid as Leopoldo López. So any person with certain objectivity sees this. This old man says, we have 40%, no, we have 30%, we have 35%, and now they said they claim to have 70% in a website that doesn't open. So I can, right now, give me 4 hours. In 4 hours, I can make up 100 million acts where 100% of the peoples of the world assured that Maria Corina Machado is a fascist, and show her and put their hitman Martinez. Well, you have to. It has to be the code. Well, it's pure garbage. It's pure lie. It's completely lie, and the photos they published are just lies. And it is also a lie, the alleged protests against President Maduro. They show up photos of the 2017 uprisings named Guarimbas. They couldn't even endorse those acts of violence in those years. Look, the elections are just the expression of the Venezuelan people that have to be endorsed by the electoral referee, and it cannot be endorsed by a website or any far-right leader. The rules of the game are the rules of the game, and who decided as those legislators, Daniel, or opponents, leaders, are just compelled to recognize the decision of the Electoral Council. I wonder, the civilized, wise Europe requested an act of the elections when Guaidó was accepted as interim president of Venezuela. They asked any document. Don't come to me with hypocrisy. Venezuela is a country, a sovereign country, and the institutions are sovereign, independent, and free. Someone asked Guaidó, asked Guaidó, in which election did you get elected? The United States asked him. The United States said that we are concerned if Guaidó didn't show any ads. They are hypocrites, because they were within the plan of not recognizing the electoral elections, the electoral results. No one is surprised. They didn't recognize it in 2014. They call it sham elections in 2014. They did a similar thing, a similar acts of vandalism, and they didn't even open that to the website. They didn't have enough rigor of statistics students of the first semester. So their word is enough. Their fascist word is enough. They think so, but no, they didn't even bother. Any statistics student of the first semester said, "This is unbelievable. This is not auditable. This trick is not believable." Well, this is a document. This is a photo of an enterprise named Enterlace at the 12:33 in the afternoon on July 28th, 12:33 p.m. It has 1.6 million of in general. This exit poll from at noon said fake figures. Results 54% of Maduro's ballots, and while El Mundo another fake figure. So that's a proof of the theater, of the mockery theater of the fascist right, and just in his life he hasn't been in an electoral entity, not even to choose the queen of the carnival of any parish. It is nothing more like a liar, paid off by the U.S., which was in a situational hall, and he was at the Paco Palmieri's office, U.S. ambassador. We don't know where, but he is ambassador. Right, Eugenio? You were working in that situational hall to impose fraud. To impose fraud that they were already announcing. We won't recognize any electoral results that won't be endorsed, that won't be issued from our official ads. And so it's not that difficult. 1%, it's easy to change results, but maybe we can say that this is a double quantity amount of money that you've got paid from from the US. But we didn't change the results. That's just a mockery. That the true plan is to try to fear our people, to frighten our people. That's why they mentioned the violence acts to the head of. They committed violent acts against kindergartens, statues of Chavez, statues of Chief Colomoto, the biggest byword of the Portuguesa municipality, the most powerful religious monument to sow terror. That's why they paid $40 for thugs, plus the amphetamine that they provided them. $40 per thug. So go and shoot to a young man who seems to be Chavistas. I want to say the name but they attacked a man who is a leader of our OBEB. They shot them at the guts and they launched him to the river afterwards. Or a video that showed Tania, or those girls menaced whose mothers were threatened, or those vehicles that they set fire, or the SUR that was captured as kidnapped as it was a pack of hyenas persecuting a prey, and they was beaten to death. And those opposition mayors, as the mayor of the Obispo municipality or the mayor of the Espiritu municipality, whose house was spotted and his wife and sons were threatened to. That's the real plan of Edmundo Urrutia and Maria Corina Machado. That's the same plan. It's the same homicidal plan. What happens is that in the text of Saramago, they just disguise that plan, but they think equally as Franco. They don't mind to kill half of Venezuela, to impose themselves, to impose their stances, to impose their precepts and principles, to steal from us the homeland, our resources, our rivers, our seas, and deliver them to their owners. But because that's the real plan, to deliver the homeland to the imperialism, and that's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. They will never take office. The fascist sectors will never take office. The homeland is not sold. The homeland must be respected. That's why I suggest that we continue, with all due respect, opposition legislators. We should continue assisting the natural and regular dynamics of the protocols of the National Electoral Council when an election is conducted, because it seems that they invented that issue of ads with July 28th election. That happens always, but what it doesn't happen always is the brutal attack that received the team of transmission of the Electoral Council with the target of imposing that the acts that are validated are the lies that they just published. That was the end. And that's why they rapidly characterized Elon Musk and its puppets to say that the National Electoral Council didn't present that. And here, as we didn't present that, here we have the acts. It's exactly like what happened with Guaido. It's exactly as the self-proclamation of Guaido. These acts of different numbers are illegal because they are lies, and they begin with the international outlets and social media, but they continue to be a lie with an end, with a purpose. It's not a liar or a psychopath, but it's a liar because it's a criminal. It's a liar to be able to impose the U.S. plan to steal from us the resources, oil, and block us. And that's their route. And just now, they include the plan that they were preparing for months, the plan of violence and terror against our people. I want to conclude telling two things. One, with fascism, we cannot have any hesitations. With fascism, we don't hold talks. We don't give benefits. We don't forgive. When we forgive them, it almost when it was forgiven, the humanity was almost annihilated, and over 30 million of Europeans were killed in wars. With fascism, we have to be tough. We have to apply laws. With this, we have to say that the prosecutor's office have to act as it is acting, not only with the thugs, drug addicts, criminals that are killing women and youngsters. The leaders have to be arrested as well, have to be in jail as well, those who pay them off. And when I said leaders, heads, I am not referring to Maria Corina Machado, who has to be in jail too. I am referring to Edmundo González Urrutia, because he's the leader of the fascist conspiracy that are trying to impose in Venezuela. That's the truth. He knew about these plans, just like her and just like that alleged command, which was not an electoral command, but it was a command of violent action. That was what they tried yesterday. With fascism, we have to be steadfast. We can't negotiate. We can't give them profits. We have to apply it with all. We have to apply the rigor of the laws of the Republic. And in second place, I send you the message to those who believe that sowing hate and terror they will achieve to change our motivation to for struggling, for fighting. It happens the contrary, because these people, these brave people of Venezuela, are going to go out to the streets to combat fascists, to defend the peace of the Republic. They are going to go out to the streets and celebrate and defend the results of the elections that in which Nicolás Maduro Moros was elected as president for the 2025-2031 term. We will see you on the streets. So he was denouncing different fascist violent acts by the far right, led by Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo González Urrutia, and they are going